Welcome to Get Serious. So just a little bit of an update on our internal processes here. Again, like no surprise, it's been a more difficult real estate cycle to work with. And, as we've transitioned our own target properties that we're going after, we just won't even consider properties below 50K purchase price at this point for funding. Because it hasn't been worth it to us. I mean, we can earn some income off it. We are technically leaving money on the table. But for the level of effort involved to go after a little bit extra profit, all told, especially after splits, it just has not been worth our time. The brokers are less incentivized. Typically, the operators aren't as high of quality either from that end. So that naturally kind of shrinks our funnel a bit. We can go after fewer larger projects is really the transition that we're working through in our business. And again, being super cautious just because of really difficult real estate market. And just, we're in a very fortunate position where we've, retained a lot of profits over this past year, roughly, in a very liquid position. And so we don't immediately need to rush into anything or, try to solve disposition at the moment. We can be more patient as we consider next steps in again, a rapidly evolving industry. And something that we had kind of scaled out of, again, you just have to be open-minded running a business. Things just change over time, and you can't just necessarily say, okay, we're done doing this, we're never doing anything again. And I know I just mentioned, we're not doing anything below 50K purchase price deals. I'm saying that now. It seems hard to imagine would we ever reopen that again. But I also never, fully say, okay, that chip, or that bridge is completely burned here. We could reopen that at any time. But nevertheless, that one feels a lot more firm at the moment here, just given our strategy. But one thing that we had done is just we were having so much inbound volume for quite a while that in order to kind of qualify folks who are reaching out to us and what type of operators were going to be solid, we would try to push a lot of communication to email and text a lot of the time. So that would free up more slack within our system, as well as focus for, okay, really lock in on the key deals that are actually moving forward, that are actually deeper in the pipeline, or through the disposition process, or maybe just core marketing and business development options to keep going after. And so when I first started this company, it was a lot more one-on-one outreach, phone calls, longer phone calls, especially even non-qualified folks, or just I can't tell, there are a handful of calls that I had done over the last 2+ years. And I'm I cannot believe how much time is spent on some of these calls that just we're not that qualified of land investors to work with. But you just kind of have to learn, and you also get the reps in, and pitches down, and how I kind of talk through things. And nowadays, I can just do it in my sleep, right? Just talk about our business. I don't need to reference any materials, just because it's just everything is just top of mind here. But had to get a lot of those reps in and figure out and get our brand out there. But as we scaled, it's okay, I backed off a lot of that and would only really want to take calls for more serious deals, and ones that actually seem to have real traction. And again, we were only in funding maybe 2% of deals that were coming our way, and so there was a lot that was just delegated to text communication, and that probably pushed some people away. There's no doubt about it. Some folks even said that you're not willing to get on a call, just take my business elsewhere. And it's I'll have to live with that. We've got enough on our plate. But as we've gone up market now, and again, just a tougher industry where I think there's just a lot of churn ongoing right now, I'm more open to having calls, and I've been more open to just, okay, I'm just going to answer the line here, just be more available on a sales marketing perspective. People want to chat, okay, fine. We'll have 5-10 minute conversation. Usually I can answer questions very quickly. And folks really appreciate that. No one's really abused our time from that perspective. And I think they, kind of appreciate the quick service. It's still a few folks who are like, yeah, I'm about to send you the deal. Here, what do you need from me? Like, okay, I'm about to send it over to you, and then I don't see anything. So it's like, still a little bit unqualified from that standpoint, or folks that are just like, I don't know what I don't know what the incentive is. Like, why why tell me you're gonna send something over and then like it doesn't happen. But nevertheless, that's still kind of the risk of client relations effectively. But nevertheless, I feel because of the extra slack we have in the system and the fact that our volume is less, both on an inbound perspective as well as the type of deals that we're looking at. And I'm kind of valuing the folks who are still trying to figure it out in the land game. Because again, I think there's just a lot of churn going on. So I want to kind of still be available for the folks, hey, they're willing to fight the battles and stick with the tough times. Like those are my kind of people anyway. And showing some of that grit and determination that, yeah, let's hop on a phone call. I don't mind, or I'll just be like available to answer some cold calls coming in. And so that's something that I thought, hey, like we were just fully scaled out of. I'm just not going to do that again. But, when I started to consider the evolution of our business and where relationships and kind of customer service, customer success is foundational to what has built our brand to be in the first place here, that it's something we can return back to. And I think it's one of our strongest points we have within our business, that, hey, we can afford to go back to it. If it ever becomes like too crazy to deal with again, I just don't see that at the moment. And then we can always retract again too. Like, business oftentimes is just like a push and pull. You solve one problem, others arrive, and then maybe that original problem that you solved again, you get to another point in your business, or maybe the market evolves, that becomes a problem again. You got to solve it in a different way. So that's why I really try to maintain that flexibility. Very rarely having like, firm, hard and fast rules, at least for, you can have hard and fast rules for like the certain point that you are in the business, especially when you need to only have one priority to solve at any given time. But as things change, you have to have that agile mindset to understand, okay, the market I was in a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago is just not the same as we are in now. And we can afford, and it is to our advantage for me to be more available from a phone and meeting perspective with possible customers or existing customers and so forth. Existing customers, like, no problem. Yeah, we'll hop on a call. We've already like made money together. It's just more like the qualifying side of things that we're pursuing again too. So I just wanted to mention that, and maybe you can think of other avenues within your business where it's like you made a shift, but does that shift really continue to make sense where you're at the moment? Is it possible that you could kind of retract or backtrack a bit and reopen a channel of engagement that was working really well for you in the past, and you kind of underestimated its impact on the business? Like these are just questions we have to ask ourselves every day. Be willing to try things and experiment over and over and over again. So hopefully this one is helpful from hearing from our experience as well as thinking about your own. SeriousLand.capital for any of your funding needs, land daily diligence, Facebook group, zero cost review your land deals, and landpricer.io. Most reliable land pricing tool on the market. Subscribe and share, everybody. Looking forward to next time. I will see some of you at Ajay's live event in Dallas driving up shortly. Actually, by the time you hear this, I'll already be there, but hope to see many of you there talking to my future self. So take care, everybody. Bye.